Why do I say go to zero? And basically, look, I don't want to talk about these being chapters. I want to talk about them being things that you need to start incorporating into your life so you know how to stay in the game. Okay, I want you to write this down. Never depend on money to get you anywhere, because you will never have enough money and it will always let you down. Money is an illusion, okay? Money, you got to remember money. I don't have any on me. You got any on you, Jared? Money, you got to remember money is a made-up concept, okay? This concept, this $100 that you guys think is so, you guys and gals think is so important. This money is only as valuable as the confidence people put in the money, okay? It's a made-up piece of paper. It's completely contrived, okay? Let's put why Ben Franklin on it. Why not Andrew on this one? Why not Obama on this one? Why not the Bushes on this one? Okay? Why did it have anybody on it? Why did it have In God We Trust? This is completely made up. Never depend on money to get you where you want to go. So when Discovery Channel gave me $100, I'm like, I don't need that. Y'all can keep it. And they're like, no, we got to give you the $100, right? We got to give you some money to start with, because they wanted to see it go down to 180, 60, 50, right? So I said, I don't need the money. I took the money and put it in the bank. I don't need that money. You got to act like you don't need money to make money. Write this down. It does not take money to make money. It takes courage. That is French for courage. The French don't have any of that anymore. Just kidding. Okay, I grew up with a bunch of French guys. Some of the most courageous, crazy people in the world. They don't need courage because they're crazy, okay? And by the way, you don't need courage as long as you can be crazy, but I promise you don't need this. You need courage or crazy more than you need cash. Every day, when I walk into my office, the first thing that gets put on my desk, I don't know if I have it in here today, first thing I get every day is a financial statement with all my cash positions. Every cash account that I have, not all my assets, not my investments. I'm talking about the cash accounts, not the real estate I own, but the cash accounts that I have. Regardless of what I have, I look at each one of those accounts, no matter how much that account is. This is all cash accounts. And if you don't have them on a piece of paper, you should get them on a piece of paper, because I know that you have them in your head. You either have them in your head and you don't know what they are, or you have them in your head and you do know what they are. But either way, because you have them in your head or don't, you think they're valuable, and they're not, okay? What I want to do right here is I want to create an idea that I have zero in my accounts. So all these accounts have money in them, right? Okay, I know they got dollars in them, dollars. I look at them, and the first thing I do is I say, how can I get these to zero? I do not want cash. You've heard me say before, assets become liabilities. Cash would, to many people, appear to be an asset. The truth is, cash is not an asset, it is a liability. Cash is only an asset when cash is put to use. Cash is not king. Listen to me. Cash is not king. Cash is trash. But more importantly, cash makes people weak. When this person has $200,000 in cash accounts, they think they're good when they're not. It only takes a car wreck to mess that 200 grand. All it takes is some medical event that was not covered by your health insurance to make that 200,000 zero. People say more people file bankruptcy because of a health problem than any other single deal. I'm like, no. Okay, people file bankruptcy because they don't have enough money. Okay, it's got nothing to do with, oh my God, it happened because of this. It happened because you underestimated how much money it takes. Cash makes you weak. So does retirement accounts, 401ks, the IRA. Equity in your home, by the way. Oh my God, I'm so good. I've sat down with so many people, folks, that come to me for their financial advice. They sit down, had a gentleman come in this morning. He's got $25 million of net worth. He comes in and says, brings his finances in and says, hey, help me here. What do I need? I'm not a financial planner. I'm not trying to get his money invested in ETFs. And I'm like, look, this is what I would do with your money. And we sat there and saw how his finances were actually in conflict with his business plan. He had more money invested in a cash account, in a retirement account, in an ETF. ETF is a mutual fund or Wall Street type asset. He had more money,
Exchange traded fund.
Exchange traded fund. He had more money invested in Wall Street than he did his own business. I said, look, your finances are a conflict with who you are, okay? He had more equity in his home than he had invested in his marketing. So let's say he's got $200,000 in cash. This guy's got $200,000 in a retirement account and he's got $200,000 in equity in his home. So what does he say? He wakes up in the morning. Things are tough. Everything's going bad, okay? The world's coming to an end. COVID comes for another round, okay? It unemploys him. He's like, oh, but we're all right. Gives you a false illusion that things are all right when they're not and that you don't have to hit your targets, which is the thing we just covered. If you wake up in the morning not thinking you have to hit your targets because of something that happened in the past, by the way, cash is past. Remember that. And the past is never going to fix your future. Impossible for what you did yesterday to help you tomorrow, unless you did something massive. Okay, if you got billions, disregard everything that I'm telling you. Once you get billions, understand you're not on the come up anymore. This course is 0 to a million. You would throw all this information away when you hit a billion. You're like, okay, I can literally break every rule now that I got to the big cheese. You understand? You can waste. You can throw all this information away once you make it, but not on the come up. No amount of money, listen to me, no amount of money, write this down, no amount of money, cash or material objects will ever make you secure. No amount of money, cash, material things can make you secure or safe. Security is an inside job. So when the person says, I'm in trouble. How much cash do we have? They seek to find security through something else, and it will always fail you. A lot of people completely misunderstand me about money because they hear me always talk about money, money, money. Go get the money, go get the bag, secure your future. Yes, okay? But this will not make you secure. So when I have it, the first thing I'm trying to do is get rid of it. I try to take all money and convert it to an asset, a real asset. Cash is not an asset. Why? I can burn it, I can lose it, it depreciates, okay? And it's only as valuable as the people that carry it believe it is. Security is an inside job. It's internal motivation and a drive, a demand to seek improvement. Production is the only thing. Production outside, me going to make contacts, is the only thing that can make you and I secure in our future. Apple Computer today has $205 billion in cash, and they continue to produce, innovate, and aggressively sell their products. You can't make sense of your situation if your situation does not make sense. Listen to what I'm saying. If you're out of work, no income, you got no new income, COVID comes for a second round. Inflation's coming. Okay? Emergency situation comes. Your kid goes to a treatment center for drug addiction. It's not covered. Maybe it is. I don't know. Your mother gets in a terrible accident. Something terrible happens. All this stuff starts happening. When it rains, it pours, and you have and you lose your job. How do you make sense of that? Do not make sense of things that don't make money. This does not make sense. I just lost my job. My mom's in trouble. My kid's in trouble. COVID's coming. Emergencies are happening. And you're like, well, you know, honey, it's going to be all right, honey. We have some money in a retirement account. We have a little bit of cash set aside. And we have 3 months of our expenses. And we have some equity. Our home's paid for. Do not make sense of things that don't make sense. You're in trouble right now. And this cannot solve your problems. The only thing, what I'm trying to explain to you here is the only thing that can solve your problems is this. Production. And production, not past. Remember, money is from the past. Production is what creates your future. Remember, we're trying to go from zero to $1 million. Some of you that got $1 million didn't watch the program because you're like, oh, I already got $1 million. I don't need $1 million. And that very thing kept you from watching this, how to get your second million, your 10th million, and the 100th million. People are like, man, what sets you apart, Grant? Dude, I haven't quit along the way. That's what separates me from other people. They're like, oh, I work harder than you do. Okay, whatever. Dude, you might work harder than me, but just because you work harder than me don't mean you're going to get further than me. And I don't know a lot of people that work harder than me, but I never brag about how hard I work. I do brag because I go get $1 million, and then I act like it's zero, and I start over from zero, and then I go get 10 million, and guess what I do? I act like it's zero, because every time I get it, I get rid of it. I reinvest it in my business. I reinvest it in real assets to produce more cash flow, and I'm always acting like I don't have $100, and dude, I don't need $100. I don't need anything. I don't have anything stashed in the wall or at the bank or in a retirement account. I got it all stashed in me to keep myself creative, curious, hungry, and on the move. I'm all in on one of 3 things every day, okay? The 3 things that I invest in all push to my P. Me, I invest in me so I can P more. I invest in my business so it can produce more, and I invest in real estate because it's the only thing that'll produce for me passive income. That's the only 3 things I invest in. It also frees me up and has those barriers I talked about in an earlier video, so I'm not worrying about Twitter. I'm not worried about Bitcoin. I'm not worried about what happens over here or this investment or building land or building houses, because that's not my business. If it was my business, I'd be all in on my business. You understand? I invest in me, I get $100. Jared gives me $100. I make $100. I take the $100, I reinvest it in myself, I get rid of the money. John gives me $1,000. I take the $1,000, I eat 200 of it because I had to, feed my kids because I had to, take the $800, reinvest it in me and my business. So it makes me better because we're both looking for more production, okay? My business can produce, I'm better now, I can produce more. Remember, your future is where your security is. It's the future you're worried about, not the past. You're never, oh man, I remember that guy hit me when I was 12 years old. You're not worried about Bob that hit you when you were 12. You're worried about the next guy that's going to hit you when you're 32. You understand? You're worried about the future. And the only thing that can give you a secure future is big targets, a strategy, okay, and don't sit on illusions. Cash is an illusion. So what I want you to do right now is I want you to make a list of all your assets, every asset that you have. These assets that you have, by the way, were created from the past. Anything of value, anything that you think is valuable, okay, called assets. Clothes, art, furniture, jewelry, real estate, stocks, retirement accounts, equity in your home, accounts receivables, your brother owes you some money. Make a list of all those things. And then I want you to write down how secure are you next to each one of these things. Okay, and right here I want you to write down on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being max. Okay, I want you to write down how secure do those things make you of the future. Equity in your home, accounts receivables, retirement accounts, how stocks, real estate, jewelry, how secure do those things make you? You're probably going to see, man, dude, my house does not make me secure. You're going to see that the money your brother owes you does not make you more secure. Okay, now, I want you to make, next to that, I want you to get another piece of paper out, and I want you to just write down how much money have you invested in you, right there, in your business, right there, and in real assets, real. A real asset for me is not just my own business, by the way. I'm looking for real assets outside of the business that I got to push on. Okay, also I want you to put on this. If you own a business, employees, product development, advertising, marketing, you just go over this list, landing pages, customer attainment. Maybe we can make a list for them, Jared, that follows this. Okay. Sales team, your sales team, maybe an affiliate sales team. Point is, you're going to find out that you got less invested over here. There's your investment list. Okay, we'll give you the rest of this list. We'll print it out for you. And you can add to this list, maybe in partnerships, collaborations, trips, 10X Growth Conference, speaking on stages. You can literally build this out. Anything that would help grow your business as specific as you want to get to it. The point is you're going to see that you have almost zero attention. Most people have no attention on the right side and all their attention on over here. This list will provide you with a future. This list is all about the past. Much of this list on the past, by the way, is giving control up to other people you don't even know. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, my friends, those of you who are paying attention right now, and you're like, what am I watching right now? You're watching a course on how to go from 0 to $1 million, okay? How to literally build your business plan. Your business plan starts with you. What I'm talking about right here is what y'all already forgot about, okay? Go to 0. Always go to 0. See, so no matter what I show up on my list, every day I wake up and I'm like, man, what's keeping me going? This is what my peers ask me all the time. Bro, where'd you get the fuel from? Bro, I knew you when you were 30. You got more energy today than you do then, and you don't need to do anything. You got the jet, you got the helicopters, you got the great place to live. You're buying more real estate. You got 150 employees. You got another 350 in the field doing real estate. You got partnerships all over the world. Your name's bigger than ever. Why are you still going so hard? Because I act like I got 0. See, I do not trust. It says in the back, in God we trust. Guess what? I do not entrust this dollar bill. I trust my future and my production to make me happy, to make a difference, and to keep going. I strongly encourage you to learn how to go to 0 over and over and over again. If you have a sales team, if you run a division and you're worried, why are my people so not motivated? They're not motivated, man, because they got money in the bank. Because they're financially illiterate. You guys need to understand, man, money has done this over the last 55 years. Like a 90%, if this was a stock called CASH, and you saw this on the New York Stock Exchange, you would see it going almost straight down, losing 90%. If that was General Electric, AT&T, if that was Bitcoin, or Apple Computer or Facebook, if that was any company listed on a stock exchange, you'd be like, dump that shit right now. But you guys trusted that you're like, oh, I got my house paid for. I got a little retirement money. Oh, I got this thing over here. You're lying to yourselves, okay? I'm trying to wake you up right now. Remember, you gave me permission. You gave me permission to confront you in this course. You're like, well, I'm not at 0. Yes, you are. Everybody's at 0. Don't you understand? We're all at 0 every day when we start out. There's so many people that did not get this course because they're like, I'm not at 0. Yes, you need to be at 0 every single day. Wake up and like, I'm at 0 today. I got to start again, okay? Because you can't really start again. You're going to build on what you had today, yesterday, and the day before, and the day before that. And what's going to happen is 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 9 months, 9 years, you're going to be like, oh my God, I'm building all this. And you're going to see this massive explosion like I've had in my life. You got to have a little bit of trust in the future. Okay, you got to know the past, and I know you can't go backwards. You can't go backwards and see this, or you know, you can't look forward and see it. You can only actually go backward and see that if you do a little something every day, you're actually going to look into the future and say, "Wow, I got further ahead than I thought I would." I promise you. Trust me on this. If you're not where you want to be at, quit trusting cash. Quit making sense of things that don't make sense. Quit making sense of things you've accumulated in the past to take care of your future, because they won't. Stay broke in your mind. Stay at 0 in your mind. Take your accounts to 0. If you have to, throw it off into real assets you can't touch, can't get to, and go out every day and reproduce your production and create your own security.